Good night, good night. Have one time tonight. God is good and God is good all the time. My name is Michelle Spiritual Vine. I'm here to give you a little short news for tonight. Um, we're gonna start with now this is old news, but it been reposted. Cause sometimes it still be lingering on court date or whatever. So sometimes it still be prolonged. So one state law wants to cut food stamps, spending food stamps. And that's their plan on doing. They're trying to ban fresh meat, and accessories, from purchasing with food stamps. So the ones that get food stamps, y'all normally buy packs of pork chops, steaks, and everything. They're trying to ban all that. You sooner or later they don't want you personing pork chop and steaks and all that with food stamps. They're trying to cut that out. So a fight over food stamps is brewing over Laura of Louisiana. Where Republican lawmaker have proposed a government nutrient benefits. From using them to buy a wild of food, including fresh meat, and it's saying butter, flour. They're trying to cut all that. Sooner or later you ain't gonna be able to hard a person nothing with food stamps. So they want to cut food stamp spending. So their plan is to ban fresh meat. You know, you ain't gonna be able to get too much with food stamp. And if it's a low income, you're gonna have to come out your pocket and pay for pork chops and steaks and all this kind of stuff. They're gonna have a lot of people going hungry. So that's why a lot of people are fighting it because um, you get food stamps because you have low income. So you got to come out your pocket. A lot of people gonna go hungry because a lot of people are already struggling. And the food stamps help out. So harmful proposal. So the people in Lawrence State, they are pushing back, against the SNAP proposal, saying it will increase hunger. That's what I just said. So a lot of people in that state, they're pushing it, because a lot of people gonna go hungry because a lot of people is not gonna afford to buy meat with cash money. So in hardship, they're gonna be struggling, among the state residents, in other words, they won't be able to purchase meat with cash money, with food stamps. So they won't be able to buy no kind of meat with food stamps. You won't be able to purchase no seafood. They had that down there. No seafood, no meat, no butter. They're trying to cancel all that with food stamps. So you won't be able to purchase seafood at all. So many people, will go hungry because they won't have no money to purchase meat. Meat are so expensive. Sometimes you might get a pack of pork chop for like $12, $14. You know, and so they're getting so much meat, different kind of meat on food stamps. The consumers feel like they're not getting a full profit of cash, on the meat because they're not spending cash, they're spending the food stamp. So you have to think about a pregnant woman. A pregnant woman that's on low income and gets food stamp. They already have to be purchasing and getting stuff ready for the baby. And have to pay for similar. So they need they have to eat healthy while they're pregnant. So you will have to keep the enough food stamp for a pregnant woman to buy meat and everything else because they have to eat protein and everything else. For while they're pregnant. So they have approved, by another program. They have WIC. So they think they have another program named Women, Infant, and Children. You know, uh, WIC. You know, WIC. You know, you can't buy foods, you can't buy meat or anything else. You only get Similac, orange juice, and stuff like that. But they're trying to come up with something else because they're trying to eliminate the food stamp for purchasing any kind of meat. So the program, but they restricted the program. You know, so they restricted. So the bill is scheduled to be discussed. Like I said, just old news. So this was like last uh January the 26th, January 20, January the 26th of this year. You know, because this happened in like I said, this old news. But the due date is gone because I would have went. You know, so the House of Senators are controlling by Republicans. You know, they're the member of GOP. You know, so the consumer may be saying the meat are expensive and being purchased with food stamp and they're not getting the full profit. You know, so we need another program to go along with the food stamps. You know, so they're gonna cut the food stamp, not cut the food stamp, but they're gonna give you a small amount of food stamp, and cause you can't purchase no meat, and or none of that on the food stamp. So they're gonna give you enough of what can be able to cover with food stamps. So why not give them enough food stamps, to purchase what will cover on that food stamp, and then we will need another program to go with that to help them with their meat, so then and then the other half of the program will cover for the meat. So I was thinking about why not have a Irma J program, to help cover the meat, go along, they have their food stamp card and then they'll have an Irma J card, will help them with their meat and everything because, because they're on low income, they won't be able to be buying no kind of meat at all unless they come out their pocket paying cash. So I came up with an Irma J card to cover the meat expenses. Since they when they decide to cut the food stamp, because I don't think they cut it yet. But they're trying to cut the food stamp, not cut all the food stamp, but you won't be able to purchase no meat on the food stamp. So you will need another program to go along with that to help with the meat. So the program of Irma G will be covering for the meat when they cut the food stamps. So this program, my program, will allow recipients to purchase meat only. With Irma J card. For all low income. And if you can't purchase meat with the food stamp, there will be so many. If you cannot purchase meat with the food stamp, there will be so many hungry people struggling trying to pay for meat with cash money and pay bills at the same time. So that will be hardship. So I request that all pregnant women only, to still be able to purchase meat with their food stamp card. Because they not only have to feed themselves, they have to feed the unborn baby that they carry. So I request that they're the only one should still be able to purchase meat on their food stamp card. Due to they pregnant and they have to feed two people, themselves and the unborn baby. So this is the news on the food stamp. On the food stamp, and they're trying to fight it because there will be so many hardships, struggling, trying to get ends meet to try to have find cash money to try to buy meat, pay light bill, water. Some of them on Section 8 don't have to pay rent, but they still have to pay light bill, still have to pay water and their phone and everything else. And now they will have to come out their pocket to purchase meat because the food stamp will not cover it. So this is another old news here. This one here was last year November. But it had just been reposted also. So the body camera had just been released today. released today the footage of Nancy Pelosi, husband, what attacked, and he was attacked by a hammer, but the video had just released today, so hammer attack, her husband Paul Pelosi and Nancy Pelosi is a United States representative, so in the footage, Paul Pelosi, the husband of the former speaker Nancy Pelosi, is attacked with a hammer. The intruder had been charged with attempt murder, and said he was targeting Miss Pelosi. So he came now to get Miss Nancy. But the husband will wind up answering the door. So San Francisco court on Friday released the police body camera footage showing John Feinstein second when an intruder wielded a hammer, attacked Paul Pelosi, who 82 years old, and the husband of Nancy, in a couple home, and this happened October the 28th. That's when the footage that's when this happened. The footage was released today. So the court also released a recording of the 911 call, made by Mr. Pelosi. Now, while the intruder was in the house, he was calling to police at the same time. And that's what y'all have to do. Special elders and special single women. That's why I be telling my mama all the time. When you live by yourself, all you in that age, whatever room you at, you need to bring that phone with you. You gonna answer that door. I'm telling you, for a lot of other people, not for elders. I do that myself. I don't answer those. You got to peep out the window or something, these days. And when you got to have the phone in your hand when you go into the door. You go to the restroom, the kitchen, living room, bring that phone with you everywhere you go. Because that helped him. He called the police while the intruder was there. So he must have went to the door with the phone in his hand. Was a good idea. So the court also released a recording of the 911 call that made by Mr. Pelosi while the intruder was in the house. Now, shortly after he broke in and awakened Mr. Paul, to police civilian footage of Pelosi resident in an auto recording of the police suspect named David. So they got the picture of him. So after her husband Paul was attacked in a couple home in October, he was faced a long recovery. His recovery had took 3 months, but thank God he's still alive. To later the recovery is still continuing, because they ain't let us see. If you see the video, they didn't let us see the video when he hit him. When he raised his hand up, they cut the video off. They didn't let us see that part. But if he was bam in his head with that hammer, that's why he's still recovering. But thank God he's still alive. He is still alive. I don't know what this word is coming to. Should have so many killing. So many shooting. I don't know what is going on right now. We have to constantly just keep on praying. We have to constantly keep on praying. And I advise anyone, you live by yourself. Don't be so quick to open the door. Don't be so quick to open the door. Look out the window or something. Or have people to call you. So you can be hands-on and know who come to your house knocking at your door. So thank God he's still alive. And the intruder has said he came there for the wife, so he must have been asking for the wife. And that's still a scary thing. She never wanted her husband to get hurt. She probably never known somebody was gonna come there looking for her. But thank God, God was with him and he's still alive from that beating from a hammer. So it's just so much is going on these days. And we just in the beginning of a new year. January never end yet. And we have all these foolish of all kind of stuff that's going on. But I thank God that he is still alive. you know, and I still, don't know why he came there looking for Miss Nancy, you know. He came there looking for Miss Nancy, but the husband answered the door, So that's all the show news I have for you today. We had talk about the food stamps. They're talking about not cutting the food stamp, but you won't be able to purchase no meat on the food stamps. Because um, meat done went up. So the meat is going up. The low income not paying cash money for it, they're paying for it with food stamps. So they figure the economy is going up, and they figure with consumers they're not getting the full profit of the meat. You know, so they want to eliminate, of them purchasing meat with food stamps. So they will need another program to go along with that. And I say, why not have an emergency program just to purchase only meat on a card, once a month, you know, and nothing gonna carry on. It be once a month to help with the food stuff for the meat, because a lot of people right now is struggling, and for the ones who was getting food stamp and purchasing pork chops and steaks and all this kind of stuff and won't be able to do it, that would be a big change for them to try to put that in their budget to spend money on meat. And so we also talk about Miss Nancy husband had got attacked. Why the intruder was in the house, her husband, you know, had called the police, and that was a good thing. That saved his life because soon they got there, they rushed him to the hospital. So right now he's still alive, but still recovering. So that's the story on the news. The food stamp and Miss Nancy husband had got attacked, but he's still alive. Y'all have a blessed night, and I'll see y'all on the next video.